but it's story time.
Yay!
And my special guest today is Heidi, Cline, McKerley. Not really a special guest. She's always my guest, no matter what. So we're live, and we're gonna do some story time, kind of like last minute. And this is like one of my favorite things to do. So pardon me reaching.
Arden!
My technical.
We may need your help.
My technical skills are lacking sometimes. All right. So today we are reading a little excerpt from a really fun.
Come wave real quick.
Funny.
Say hi to everybody. Hi. Now go keep that straight.
Don't mind
for us,
me.
please.
I'm just trying to talk to the people.
Okay, sorry.
Oh my God. So it's not straight.
A little more. No, the other way.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hello, Rivka. So glad you're here. I'm gonna wave at you. Waving. I waved at you. Haha. So we're gonna read a tiny excerpt from Frankenstein Makes a Sandwich and Other Stories You're Sure to Like, because they're all about monsters and some of them are also about food. You like food, don't you? Well, then all right. So there. So we're going to read a little bit of that. We're going to also read a little bit of what? What are you reading today?
Oh, the things they invented. Yes.
Exciting.
We're going to learn some things today.
All right. And lastly, we're going to read. She just floated away. Look at that.
She'll be back.
Yeah, she's going to come back at the end, so stick around for some Little Mermaid. It says special edition. I'm not sure what that means, but special edition.
It's Golden Book, so it's super special.
Special.
Super special.
All right. So let's get the show on the road, everyone. Woo! Frankenstein Makes a Sandwich and Other Stories You're Sure to Like, because they're all about monsters and some of them are also about food. You like food, don't you? Well, all right then. That's the title. It's by Adam Rex. Isn't that cute? All right. So I'm going to read the very first thing, which is it's all poetry. So I'm going to read the very first thing about Frankenstein Makes a Sandwich.
Delicious.
And here we go. Hope you can see all this. Look at these wonderful pictures. All right. Frankenstein makes a sandwich. When Frankenstein prepared to dine on ham and cheese on wheat, he found instead he had no bread or mustard, cheese, or meat. What could he do? He thought it through until his brain was sore and thought he ought to see what he could borrow from next door. His neighbors gawked as Frankie walked the paths up to their porches. Each time he tried, the folks inside would chase him off with torches. A monster! Eek! The people shrieked. Oh, make him go away! The angry hordes unsheathed their swords, pulled pitchforks out of hay. Look at them. They threw tomatoes, pigs, potatoes, loaves of moldy bread. And then a thought struck Frankenstein as pickles struck his head. It's true at first he thought the worst. His neighbors were so rude. But then he found that on the ground they'd make a mound of food. He piled it high and waved goodbye and shouted, "Thanks a bunch!" Then stacked it on a plate and ate a big, disgusting lunch. Look how disgusting that is. That was the end. That was the end of Frankenstein Makes a Sandwich. There's also the creature from the Black Lagoon doesn't wait an hour before swimming. And the Phantom of the Opera can't get It's a Small World out of his head. So I highly recommend that you check out Frankenstein Makes a Sandwich. It's a book of all kinds of really fun, poetic options. Frankenstein makes a sandwich. Frankenstein makes a sandwich. All right, I'm done.
All right.
That's it. All right.
So now we're going to come a little bit this way. Okay, yeah, that's really, thank you, Arden.
You're welcome.
Our PA, thank you, Arden.
Is this good?
Yes, very good. All right. Oh, the things they invented. We're about to learn some stuff. Are you ready? All right. Here we go. You got it all in there? Yeah?
Yep.
Ooh. I'm the Cat in the Hat, and as everyone knows, I'm a cat who is fond of machines and gizmos. All through human history, since before the year 1, things have been invented to help get stuff done. Tools improve daily life, and I think you will find they are fabulous products of the human mind. The inventors of tools from old and new ages will now spring to life in these very pages. If you're ready to meet them, please turn your attention to the super de-duper invention convention. Come along, children. Here we go. Gutenberg, who worked with metals like gold, found a way to print books that improved on the old. Before books were copied by hand, this is so, the pace of these scribes was incredibly slow. Our pages were carved out of one wooden block, then ink and pressed down onto smooth paper stock. A book took forever to make, and that's why books were for rich folks alone to go buy. Look at the rich folks. Ah, elitist. All right, here we go. Gutenberg's metal letters, both capital and small, periods and commas and colons and all, were laid out word by the page in a tray, locked in and then copied in ink in this way. Page after page, he laid each out anew, printing 200 Bibles before he was through. His printing machine, you never will guess, was made from a very old, unused wine press. Hey, parents. All right. Next up, James Watt. Okay, the modern engine.
Steam engine.
Modern steam engine. Thank you, Arden.
You're welcome.
Keep me straight. Good. Modern steam engine. It had that artful sort of lettering, and I missed it. Thank you. Perhaps young James Watt watched a tea kettle steam, and there got the spark for his steam engine dream. Did he see the effect that boiled water brings? The steam creates power that then can move things. To make matters clear, the things will now show how a steam engine works. Turn the pages and you'll know. Gonna have to turn the page to find out. There we go. Water heats in a boiler until it makes steam, then steam leaves the boiler in a powerful stream. It enters the cylinder, causing pistons to go, but when the steam cools, the pistons will slow. Before Watt, steam engines did not work well at all. When the hot steam cooled down, the pistons would stall. Watt took the cooled steam, turned to water by then, and pumped it back to the boiler to heat up again. Factory machines kept chugging this way, and steam locomotives could choo-choo all day. I think we all learned a whole lot right then. Yes? All right.
I did.
Did you learn a lot, Arden?
I did.
Yes? Jeffrey?
I learned a lot.
Awesome. Learning's awesome. Here we go. Samuel.
Choo-choo.
Choo-choo.
right.
All right. Samuel Morse. Before Morse, the male. Did I say it wrong? You were laughing.
That's
I was
correct.
laughing at choo-chooing. So.
Okay. I want to get that up there so the kids can see. All right. Morse. All right. Samuel Morse. Messages by wire. Before Morse, the mail traveled only by letter, but mail sent by wire moved much faster and better. Pulses of current could work in effect to cause an electromagnetic to deflect. The magnet moved an arm that beat out a mode of dashes and dots we all call Morse code. Nice. Our Congress approved of Morse code and, what's more, told Morse to string wires from D.C. to Baltimore. Telegraphs became the latest sensation. Soon telegraph wires linked up the whole nation. That is crazy and awesome. All right. Alexander Graham Bell. 1876, the telephone. Awesome. Here we go. Son of a deaf mother, Mr. Bell really cared about proving the lives of the hearing impaired. That is important. His phonograph used a real human ear to draw sound vibrations the deaf could read but not hear. The gizmo led him to think maybe he could send off sounds by electricity. His assistant, Tom Watson, receiver to ear, heard Bell down the hall transmit sound he could hear. Ooh. All right. Next up, Thomas Edison. All right.
The light bulb.
The phonograph.
Oh, sorry. The phonograph.
1877. Before the tape player of the handy CD, phonographs with needles played records, you see. After improving Bell's telephone, Edison had the intention of making another telephone invention. It would copy down calls of businesses could track who had called up and who to call back. Just like your ear, a receiver caught sound copied down by a needle on a cylinder round. All right, look at the things. They are partying. All right. In addition to messages, it copied music and song and became all the rage before very long. All right. Okay, we're moving on now to, you know these guys. Wilbur and Orville Wright, 1903. Look at us just chugging along through history. When motorized airplanes had all so far failed, the brothers Wright felt that they had the deal nailed. Making wings shape for flight was the Wrights' fondest goal, to allow for balance and flying control. A movable rudder that fit on the rear was added to help the brothers to steer. Fixed right motorized aircraft. All right. On a hill in Kitty Hawk, after many a try, Wilbur one day set out to fly. And 852 feet in the air, Wilbur flew. He made like the birds and made history too.
Woohoo!
Woo!
You go. Right.
Yes, you go, Wright brothers. All right.
Two rights make an airplane,
Woo! Two rights make an airplane. That is correct.
but two wrongs do not make a right.
All right. Here we go. Mary Anderson. We have a dazzling crowd of 3 people watching us right now, but we appreciate all 3 of you for watching. Thank you. All right. Woohoo! We're waving at all three of you. And now we only have two because
Hi,
we
Allie.
recognized you. Y'all are not in the mood to learn something today. I understand. All right. Mary Anderson, 1905.
The first woman.
Oh, yes, finally, yes. Once streetcar drivers in the rain and the snow had to lean out the window to see where to go. Mary Anderson drew up, and then she made an arm on a spring with a smooth rubber blade. The driver pulled a lever to make the blade go and sweep off the rain and the slush and the snow. I think we all appreciate windshield wipers. Way to go, Mary Anderson! Woohoo! All right, Garrett Morgan. Thing one just told me a thing you should know. Our street traffic signals once were just stop and go. At busy intersections, as you might well guess, accidents would happen, making quite a big mess. But Garrett Morgan thought it was a must to give all these drivers some time to adjust. A signal would say, in a moment or so, you're expected to stop or expected to go. He invented a signal that paused half the way between go and stop, like yellow lights of today. Good job, Garrett Morgan. We needed that.
Stopping those accidents.
Woo! Not in Atlanta, but good try. All right. So we have computer inventors here, 1936 to 2010. In 36, Conrad Souza invented a machine, the first working computer the world's ever seen. This computer had everything a modern one has: input memory, process output, and all that jazz. Steve Jobs and his team all get a big nod for the Apple computer, the iPad and iPod, not to mention the iPhone, not to mention which, as I understand, is a computer that fits in the hand. That is correct.
Thank you, Steve Jobs.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. The child is thanking Steve Jobs. All right. So we have Tim Berners-Lee, 1989 to 90, a man who was really a big deal celeb, had a vision for something called the World Wide Web. This web thing would have no bosses or leaders. Its contributors would be its viewers or readers. His own computer, which was brand next, set up a web of computerized text. Users added content as they went along. The web was soon up, and it was going strong. Politics, facts, personal blogs, home videos of kittens and dogs. Tim Berners-Lee, now read my lips, put the knowledge of the world at your fingertips. So you can even watch us right now.
Story time.
Yay! And speaking of tips, I have one for you. With a dream and a plan, you can make gizmos too. And if stumped for ideas, please don't forget that. You can put on my red and white cat's thinking hat. Woohoo! All right. Oh,
I love it.
things they invented.
Which is kind of based on, the things you can think. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Absolutely.
Hi, Janie Cormier.
Hi.
So many things to learn.
We
There
have
is.
one more story for you today before we have to go on, but
Yay.
and it's one that you probably know, and we might sing some songs from it, or
Under the sea.
I love that movie.
The Little Mermaid
Yes.
Special Edition.
Yes.
I don't know why it's special edition. We're going to figure that out for ourselves as we read along. So this is Disney's The Little Mermaid,
Look at this
which
stuff.
is one of my favorites.
Isn't it neat?
Great, thank you. Here we go. Where's the overture? Kidding. All right.
I'll tell you a tale. Never
King Triton, King Triton, King Triton, King Triton. The great sea king had many daughters who loved the undersea world, but Triton's youngest daughter, Ariel, dreamed of the world above the water surface, the world of humans. Ariel and her friend Flounder liked to go to the surface to visit Scuttle, the seagull. Scuttle told them all about the humans' objects that Ariel found at the bottom of the sea. One day, Triton learned about Ariel's trips to the surface. The king grew very angry. He asked his friend Sebastian the crab to keep an eye on Ariel. A few days later, Ariel noticed a ship sailing way up on the surface of the water. She quickly swam toward it. Ariel, please come back, cried Sebastian as he and Flounder swam after her. How was my Sebastian impersonation?
It's really good.
Thanks. When Ariel surfaced, she saw a huge ship filled with sailors. Ariel's eyes lit up when she spotted the sailor the others called Prince Eric.
Ooh.
It was love at first sight. Suddenly, the sky darkened. Heavy rain began to fall and lightning split the sky. The ship was tossed on the waves and the prince was thrown overboard. I've got to save him, thought Ariel. She grabbed the drowning prince and swam to shore, pulling him onto the beach. Prince Eric did not stir as Ariel gently touched his face and sang him a love song. Soon, Ariel heard the prince's crew searching for him. She didn't want to be seen by the humans, so she kissed the prince and dove back into the sea. Splash! Prince Eric awoke to find Sir Grimsby, his loyal steward, at his side. Sir Grimsby was happy that Eric was alive. A girl rescued me, said the prince. She was singing. She had the most beautiful voice. Prince Eric, too, had fallen in love. King Triton was furious when he discovered that Ariel had fallen in love with a human. He rushed to the grotto where Ariel kept her collection of human treasures. Contact between the human world and the mere world is strictly forbidden, Triton shouted. He raised his magic trident and fired bolts of energy around the cave, destroying the treasures. Then the mighty Sea King left. Ariel buried her face in her hands and began to cry. Meanwhile, not far away, evil forces were at work in the undersea kingdom. Ursula, the sea witch, who had tried once before to overthrow Triton, was looking for a way to take over. Through her crystal ball, she could see Ariel crying, and an idea came to her.
Poor unfortunate souls.
Ursula sent her slimy eel servants, Flotsam and Jetsam, to Ariel's grotto. There they convinced the little mermaid that Ursula could help her get her beloved prince. Ariel was upset that was so upset that she ignored Sebastian's warnings and swam off with Flotsam and Jetsam to meet with the sea witch.
Dun, dun, dun.
My dear, said the witch, here's the deal. I'll make a potion that will turn you into a human for 3 days. Before the sun sets on the 3rd day, you've got to get dear old Prince to kiss you. If he kisses you, you'll remain human permanently. But if he doesn't, you'll turn back into a mermaid, and you belong to Me. Hi, Kristen. In return for the potion, the witch wanted Ariel's voice. My voice, said Ariel. Without my voice, how can I... You'll still have your voice, your looks, your pretty face, replied Ursula. After Ariel agreed to Ursula's deal, an amazing change took place. Ariel's voice flew from her body and was captured in a seashell around Ursula's neck. Ariel lost her tail, grew legs, and became a human. When Ariel went in search of the prince, she was helped ashore by her friends. She tried to speak to them, but no sound came out. A short while later, Ariel saw Prince Eric. The prince had been lovesick ever since hearing her sing. At first, the prince thought Ariel was the girl who had rescued him, but when he learned that she couldn't speak, he knew he was wrong. Silly. Prince Eric felt sorry for Ariel. She needed a place to stay, so he took her back to his palace. Very nice of him.
Yes.
Over the next 2 days, Prince Eric grew to like Ariel more and more. During a romantic boat ride, Eric was about to kiss Ariel when Flotsam and Jetsam overturned the boat. Kiss the girl. Go on and kiss the girl. That was a close one. Too close, said Ursula, who was watching in her crystal ball. It's time Ursula took matters into her own tentacles. The sea witch mixed a magic potion and changed herself into a beautiful young maiden. Look at her. There she is, a beautiful young maiden. On the morning of the 3rd day, there was a great excitement throughout the kingdom. Prince Eric was going to marry a young maiden he had just met. So smart. Ursula, disguised as the maiden, had used Ariel's voice to trick Eric. He now believed that the maiden was the girl who had saved him from the shipwreck. Poor Ariel was heartbroken. The wedding ceremony was to take place on Prince Eric's new boat. Scuttle flew by just as the bride passed in front of a mirror. Her reflection was that of the sea witch. Scuttle rushed off to tell Ariel and the rest of his friends. Sebastian quickly formed a plan. Flounder helped Ariel get out to Eric's ship. Scuttle arranged for some of his seagull friends to delay the wedding, and Sebastian hurried to find King Triton. Prince Eric and the maiden were about to be married when a flock of seagulls. I ran
so far away. Okay.
And I ran so far away. Okay, that's my flock of seagulls.
Okay, Jen.
Thank you, bye.
That was for you.
A flock of seagulls, led by Scuttle, swooped down on the bride. She screamed in the sea witch's voice. Oh! Scuttle knocked the seashell containing Ariel's voice from around the maiden's neck. The shell shattered, and Ariel's voice returned to her. Okay, that's enough. Okay. It was you all the time, said Prince Eric. Oh, Eric, I wanted to tell you, said Ariel. The sun disappeared over the horizon just as they were about to kiss. Ariel's 3 days were up. She changed back into a mermaid. Ursula grabbed Ariel and dove off the ship.
Woo!
Thanks to Sebastian's warning, Triton was waiting for them at Ursula's lair. I might be willing to make an exchange for someone better, cried Ursula. Triton agreed, and he became Ursula's prisoner. She now had his magic trident and control of the undersea kingdom. All of a sudden, A harpoon struck Ursula in the shoulder. Ah! Prince Eric had come to Ariel's rescue. Together, they swam to the surface. Thank you, Jamie. Ursula followed close behind them, and she grew bigger and bigger with anger until she rose out of the water. Prince Eric swam to his ship and climbed on board. He grabbed the wheel and turned the ship toward Ursula. Just as the sea witch was about to fire a deadly bolt at Ariel from the trident, the princess ship slammed into Ursula. The evil witch was destroyed!
Yay.
Now that the witch was gone, hi, Amanda. Now that the witch was gone, Triton was freed. He rose from the sea and saw Ariel watching Prince Eric, who was lying on the shore unconscious. She really does love him, doesn't she? Asked the sea witch king. I'm sorry, the sea
The
king.
Sea Witch King.
Sea witch
Sebastian, who was nearby, nodded. I'm going to miss her, Triton added. Then he raised his trident and shot a magic bolt at Ariel's tail. The little mermaid's tail disappeared, and once again she had legs. Ariel was now a human.
Woohoo!
Prince Eric awoke in time to see his beloved Ariel running onto the shore. He kissed her, and they were married that day. After the wedding, Prince Eric and Ariel sailed off on their honeymoon to live happily ever
Yes!
after.
Happily ever after!
Woo!
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
That is correct.
I have to
witch.
say. Thank
Big
you.
witch.
The
Thanks,
sea
everybody.
witch.
Thanks for joining us today for our story time. It was kind of like Okay. It was spur of the moment. Thank you. It was live. Can you tell it was live? So this is Arden, Heidi, and myself.
Hello.
Wishing you all to stay safe. Please support the Atlanta Artist Relief Fund. They do so many great things for people who need food or need errands run or things of that nature to help to connect people who might be alone, etc., etc. So please make sure you support them if you can. I know this is a really tough time for everyone financially, but every little penny always helps. And happy Mother's Day to everyone. So there you go. Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you very soon. I am back on the 15th, and I might have some guests with me. So come back on the 15th, and we'll see you then.
Take
Happy
care.
Mother's Day. Bye.
Happy Mother's